Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about, recently, Pedro posted a video about a certain customer suing Doordash, and also the same customer trying to sue Pedro himself. How did we get to this point? We got to this point because I already made the video in the past, and I'm going to add some more details about it right now. The simple answer to all this is the following. Any information that involves the customer or has to deal with the customer, all that needs to be disclosed and notified to the customer. Case closed, end of discussion, there's no debate, and that's that. Period. Now, how hard was that? Was that too hard to understand? Did it took an hour to explain? No, it didn't. In less than a minute, you can explain this to anybody, and it's common sense and logic, and also it's the law. And we're talking about the following: taking pictures with the order at a customer's house, asking a customer ID for alcohol, and in the case with Walmart Spark, an addition is you need to ask them for their date of birth when they're ordering medicine, if there's medicine in the order. There you go. Those three things need to be disclosed and notified to the customer before they place an order, because also it's the law. And also to help with the customer's awareness, their privacy, and their safety. What's so hard to understand about that? You gig economy companies know it all. They do provide that information, but only to the delivery driver, but not the customer. That affects mostly who? The customer. Not every customer is the same. You're on private property. Driver's taking pictures. The customer doesn't know what to make of that. They don't know what it is. You're asking them for their private information, like date of birth, that's private information. And you can explain to them that because you have medicine in the order, but where are they hearing this information from? They're getting it from a delivery driver, a regular Joe delivery driver. Can you understand why a customer will feel suspicious when they're not hearing all these things from the company where they order it from? They don't disclose any of that information in there. Instead, they're hearing it from a driver. Isn't the customer right to feel suspicious when they're hearing this stuff from a driver? Obviously, yeah. Because when you're dealing with the gig economy, it's like you're dealing with Romulans and Vulcans. It's like these people are not even human. They're like aliens from another planet. How bizarre this whole thing is. And sometimes I got to pinch myself. Maybe I'm in a bad nightmare. I need to wake up. That's how bizarre this thing is. So for their safety and their privacy, and because it's also the law, you have to disclose and notify customers every time they place an order with any given gig economy company. Case closed. And also, it will help the driver's safety as well. Anything can go wrong. You don't know what type of person you're delivering to. They see you out there taking pictures. You don't know what kind of, if the customer sees you, depending on what type of customer person you're going to get there, it can turn into an altercation. What the hell is this driver doing? Why is he taking pictures of my house? He's invading my privacy. You might even get shot. You might even get shot. You don't know how these things can turn out. So this is to protect everybody's safety, not just the customers. And certain customers know about these things. Guess what? They learn it the hard way. They have to call and complain, and the companies have to explain it to them. But it shouldn't be like that. Customers should not learn these things the hard way. They have to enforce this stuff. It's the law. It's about their privacy and their safety and their awareness. The customer can feel at ease when they're expecting a delivery. And instead, we got this. Mayhem and chaos, once again. Can you blame me for calling these companies the way they're running, like a bodega? Other drivers agree with that as well. Can you blame me? What would have happened if all that stuff was disclosed to begin with? When a customer sees a driver taking pictures of the house, customer will say, I'm already informed. I know what that is. They need to take a picture because they want to make sure the driver delivered it to the right location. That puts the customer's mind at ease and their safety. And then when you ask them for the date of birth, they'll say, oh yeah, you're right, because I ordered medicine. Yeah, I was already notified. They already disclosed that information when I made my order. I had medicine in the order, and they made that aware to me that I have to give you my date of birth. This way they understand what's going on. And also with the alcohol. Even though the alcohol is obvious, it doesn't matter if it's obvious. You need to disclose that information in there because it's also the law. Notify the customer and ask them that we need. And here's the thing. You got to put all the little details in there. You got to tell them which forms of ID are acceptable. And also, you have to be the person that's given the ID, has to be the same person that's on the ID. They do enclose all that information to the drivers only, which is more important for the customer to know this stuff than the driver. Both parties need to be aware of that, but mostly the customer. Why are these companies not doing it? There's got to be some reasons. Either they're ignorant or there's some nefarious reasons behind why they don't want to disclose all that information. Let us know in the comments. There it is. If they've done things professionally with common sense and logic, and also the law is involved into this as well, these issues wouldn't have these issues. Issues with lawsuits, complaints, deactivations because of this. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, guys. It's so bizarre. It stinks to high heaven, this whole thing, this whole operation. And in a general term, everybody involved, all four parties have screwed up this whole delivery service thing that's going on. Because there are some people, delivery drivers, and there are some merchants, and most of the gig economy companies, and some customers responsible for screwing up this whole delivery service. In a general matter. It's appalling. The most simplest thing you can do on planet Earth. Pick up an order and drop it off. Has turned the most sophisticated, most bizarre, most craziest, and they have turned it to the most difficult operation on the planet. Enough said. Agree or disagree? Do they have to disclose all this information to the customer? More importantly, to the customer, not just the driver. And then you're terminating drivers, deactivating them for doing what the terms of service tells them to do. You know why? When you get deactivated, they send you a report. Why? What does the report say? You're not allowed to ask customers of their private information. Yes, you do. You have to ask them their private information, which is their date of birth. That's private information. You require that, Walmart Spark, you require that because they have medicine in their order. And then on the report, it says you're not allowed to ask customers personal information or private information. And what's another whammy on the report? It's a safety violation. So don't put that in the terms of service. When they have medicine, the only reason the driver is going to ask the customer for the date of birth is only when there's medicine in the order. Other than that, we don't need to ask for anything else. But if that's a burden, don't put it in the terms of service. Don't ask for it. But if you have to ask for it, why are you hitting the drivers with, you're not supposed to ask customers their private information? Here's another one. You're not supposed to take pictures of the customer's house. That's in the report as well. Deactivating you for that. Yes, you do. You do say in the terms of service you need pictures, and you also have an example of how to take a picture. You're showing a door. You're showing the house numbers next to the door, and where to put the groceries and how to take a picture. Isn't the customer's house in the picture with the groceries? How else are you going to know where the food went? I mean, it's like, this is beyond bizarre, guys. This is beyond bizarre. This is beyond bizarre, and there needs to be a stop to it. Something that needs to be changed ASAP with this thing. And some parties need to be involved to make these changes happen, because the gig economy companies, they don't got a clue. Either they're ignorant, like I said, either they're ignorant, they don't have a clue, or there's some nefarious reasons why they're not doing this. Okay? If you guys know a little bit more, put it in the comments, and I'll catch you guys later. Enough said.